Hey folks, welcome back to The Portable Gamer, welcome back to ETS2, and welcome back to our journey around Europe. So, a couple of disclaimers before we get started. I am in a foul mood right now, and ideally, you won't be able to tell. I try to keep that sort of thing, try to be an adult about it. Keep my tantrums to myself, but man, I am in a mood today. It's been a bit of a struggle. And the other disclaimer is we're going to do this video cold, right? And I've put myself in a position where this may not end well. It's I've really yeah, I put myself in a hole. The odds of us getting through this episode with no trailer damage and no game crashes is virtually zero. And as I said earlier, I'm already in a bad mood. So I'm not going to rage quit. I will fight through it until it's reasonable to just end the video. Like if we're having game crashes over and over like we did last episode, then I'll just end the episode. I'm not going to rage quit, but there may be a time when, hey, realistically, we just need to call it. So those are my two disclaimers. This is going to be very exciting. So we are in Honningsvåg. And where we came from, you remember last episode, it's way out here. We were on Longyearbyen, and we were having tons of game crashes at the delivery. And I told you, I'm just going to go back to Kirkenes to start the next episode, which is right here. We did that. I've also disabled Frosty Mod. I think we've had enough of the snow and ice. So I've disabled Frosty Mod, I've disabled the heavy weather and the Frosty Physics, and I've put back in Grimes Mild Winter Mod, which is it's more of a sky and a foliage and grass modification. It makes it kind of gray. Days are a little bit shorter, and the skies are a little grayer, a little foggier, but no more snow. We've had enough of that, and it's time to start heading south. So I came back to Kirkenes, and I was looking for a job up to Honningsvåg. I didn't find one, so I started deadheading through here, and I went to Utsjoki, and I did find a job up to Honningsvåg, but I didn't get to it in time. I got turned around, and I didn't get to it in time. So I deadheaded up to Honningsvåg, repaired the truck, and slept, right? And that's where we are right now. So now every job out of Honningsvåg, obviously, is going south. There's nothing north of there. So we would like to get down into this area right here. I don't know if we have enough to do that. We'll probably end up more like in this area. And when I say we don't have enough, I mean we don't have long trips sort of enabled. We do have, let me see, we did get a skill point. Deadheading up here, we got a skill point that we're going to apply now. I think I'm going to have to go with high value. I'm going to have to go with high value. I don't want to go with fragile or just in time. I mean, we're already fairly leveled up on those. But I'm almost positive we're going to take damage, and it's a long, slow trip back down that twisty road, so I don't want to do just in time. Although, obviously, we're already fairly leveled up. I don't want to make it any worse. Right, Honningsvåg. Okay, I don't want to go back to Russia. We could take some boats to Kemijärvi. We could take these. Okay, that's looking like a good one. No, can't take that because it's a dolly trailer. Kemijärvi, I think, is it 17,000 versus 10,000. It's only 3 tons, though. Let's take the gummy bears, and then when we get here, we'll have our pick. Right, and what's the modifier? It's an important delivery. Okay, and as you can see, or if you can't see, we spent the night last night in this caravan park. Yeah, it's Oh man, it's been an adventure. It has been 100% an adventure. And man, I can't imagine how these folks feel at 8:30 in the morning. Look out your window and see this. See this guy. Right. Don't know why my wipers are on. It may have been snowing or raining when we pulled in. Yeah, deadheading up here was just it was just rotten. And now I got to get this great big truck out the driveway. All right. Oh, all right. I don't want that car to come back down and hit me. So I'm trying to stay over here to the left. Yeah, this is going to be a nightmare. I'm letting you know in advance. Every possible thing that can go wrong is going to go wrong. I'm preparing myself mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Now we do have sleep, we do have fuel. And I have to say, the fuel tank on this truck is not as small as I thought it was. I've been filling up quite a bit, but we do okay on fuel. Right. Freight market. And it is going to give us a choice. So, let's see if it lets us. Or it might just crash. No? Oh, game. Game, what are you doing? I'm thinking, because everything is just so awful already, if it's going to let me take tandem, I'm going to take a tandem down that road. Right? I don't know if you ever get in a vibe, if you get in a groove where everything is so awful, it's like, oh yeah, you know what? You want to be awful? I'll take more awful. Make it really rotten. What do you think? Should we do it? Yeah, let's do it. We're going to take a tandem down that little twisty road. Yeah, I know. There it is. I don't even know if I can get turned around in this parking lot. Oh, yeah. Yeah, everything about this day, both in the game and in the real world, everything about this day is kind of screwy. I don't know why I did this to myself, because I was just thinking about the driveway we just pulled up. I don't even know if I can get this truck past the driveway. It's what, 400 kilometers, 500 kilometers? I don't know if I'm going to be able to get out of the parking lot. And I repaired when I came into town, so you know there's kind of a cheat you can do where let's see what we got here. Oh Jesus, what did I do? What did I do? Blinkers look all right. Right. Everything looks okay. I've repaired when I came into town. Here we go. I repaired when I came into town, and the repair shop is like this little corner wedge of a street. So there's a kind of a cheat you can do, kind of a workaround where you rescue to the repair shop if you can't get out of the parking lot. And in this case, I don't think that would help. I think we would end up glitched into a building, and then you just start rattling around like a horror movie till you damage yourself 100%. Okay. Well, that wasn't too bad at all. So maybe the ETS2 gods will smile on me, and this will be not just torture. Maybe. I don't know what it is. I don't know why. But I just like to make things as difficult for myself as possible. I like challenges. I mean, I like things that are really challenging. I like things that are so challenging you don't even know if they can be done. Right? Over promising, over committing. That's my moniker. That's how I get down. Just absolutely as difficult as possible. What I'm really worried about now with this tandem rig, and this is that it's a trailer pack, and I believe the bogey, I believe it's a steering bogey. Come on. Come on. Yep, I believe it's a steering bogey on the, because it's got a little, almost like a little BDF style trailer in the rear, and I believe, yeah. So maybe we can track this thing around some of these corners, some of these turns, but I'm really concerned that we're going to hook this thing into oncoming traffic and just take damage. We'll see. But I'm going to drive as absolutely as careful as I can. And I've had some Red Bull. I'll be real with you. Let's see how that goes. Great render today. We're up between 50 and 60 FPS. I say that like it's a weather report. And we're going to be in the low 50s to 60 today. It's going to be another gorgeous day here in San Diego, California. I'm not in San Diego, California, but you know what I mean. Right. I could drop down a gear. Not going to. Now I will. Right. I estimate it's typically 3 minutes for every hour of time estimate. So right down there it says 5 hours 11 minutes. So when I estimate, I would make that between 15 and 20 minutes to get this delivered. So 15 to 20 minutes of maximum focus, plus I need to get it parked, get it to the drop-off point. Oh, don't hook. Oh, and we didn't even get to the twisty part yet. Look up there. It's like a nightmare. I'm not sure why. I did a repair as soon as I got to Honningsvåg, and then I actually slept twice so that we could do this trip in daylight. But I think this far north, and then with frosty mild winter, yeah, this one, okay, no traffic. And then with frosty mild winter, it's going to be pretty dark and gloomy all during the day. But I did try to sleep so that we could, so that it would at least be daylight hours, if not proper daylight. So it's 10 a.m., that's as day as I can get it. But we may not get a ton of daylight. Still more visibility than dark. And I don't know what kind of latitude the game gives. I feel sometimes like the collision box for trailers, and I guess the mod maker has some maneuvering room there as well. But I feel sometimes like the collision box on the trailer is really kind of generous. And then other times I feel like it's really just, it's not going to give you a millimeter. So I don't know. And I have definitely seen NPC trailers clip through all kinds of stuff. So who knows is what I'm getting at. I also I'm also ready to start heading south. I really love Scandinavia, both the DLC and ProMods, but I'm ready to be off the tundra. So we're gonna close out Scandinavia with this beautiful trip down through Finland and Norway. We're in Norway right now. I believe we'll cross into Finland. Oh yeah, every turn, every curve is just, you know? And I can't say it gets worse. It's sort of on and off all the way down to those towns further south on the map. Can't see anything past that great big mirror. I don't think anybody's coming. Bit of a hairpin here. I'm seeing my own headlights on the guardrail, and I can't tell if they're mine or somebody else's. Okay. I know. You know what? I'll take it. I'll pay 200 pounds, 200 euro all day. I keep saying pounds because I'm running a British Farm Simulator 2017 map, and I record that episode first, so I'm talking about pounds, and then I hop on here and I gotta switch over to euros. So yeah, I will pay a 200 euro fine all day long if it lets me get the trailer out away from that rock wall. And then the other thing is crashing. We had all those crashes in Longyearbyen, which was, I mean, I don't know how you want me to cut these videos. I told you I'd leave the fail in. That was fairly, you know, it was at the end of the video, and we were literally at the drop-off point, so I think most people can figure out, if you don't want to see that, go ahead and, you know, you can turn the video off now. There's only a minute or so to go. If it happens in the middle here, you know, that's always my dilemma, is if it's just started, I'll go back to my save game and start over, you know, if we're 10 to 15 minutes in. If we're 40 minutes in, I'll call it. It's when we're 20 minutes in. It's not quite a video, but it's far enough in that I don't want to start it over entirely. Right. Okay. Whew. This is, man, as much as I've played this game, and I've said this before in other videos, as many hundreds of hours as I have on this sim, maybe thousands of hours. Not too many thousands. I mean, try to keep it reasonable. But as many hours as I have on this game, and as realistically as I've always tried to play, the level of focus that I have when I'm recording, and I know that any mistakes that I make are just going to get ripped apart in the comments, the level of focus is crazy. And I think if nothing else, I mean, if nobody even sees these videos, if nothing else, I have really upped my game. Okay, I was going to say up my game when it comes to gaming, but then that would be ridiculous. I've stepped my game up. I've literally stepped my video game up. Yeah, that's what I mean. Because the level of focus, I didn't know I had this kind of focus. I always knew I played the game realistically. I always knew I tried to play it as well as possible. But I have found a whole nother level of focus. And I'm glad I did. It's the way my personality is. Once I know something, I can't really not know it. And I was actually talking about that in the farm video earlier. All we did today was drill a field. That was it. And it's not even a very big field. I got the drill going on course play, and then I just ran back and forth in a little tractor and fed the drill seeds and fertilizer. And it was not very interesting, but it was accurate, it was realistic, and I said in that video, and I'll say again in this one, I like realistic gaming, and I like watching realistic gaming. Honestly, I haven't found a whole lot of gamers that are as realistic as I like to play, which is probably why I'm making these videos. You know, I want that maximum realism. So it's difficult for me now, I guess, to not saying this right. The thought is in my head, I can't make the words. I guess what I'm trying to say is I've never gamed one way one time and then gamed another way at other times. I always play as realistically as I can. I think what I'm getting at is because I've found this new level of focus, particularly in truck sim, I think that's just what I'll go with. I think that's just what I'll go with all the time. It's not like I'm going to play as well as I can now, but then other times I'll just kind of wait for it to switch back to 50. Okay, and it goes to 80. Right? Does that make sense? Like, I found this new level of focus, and I think I'll have to keep that level of focus when I play all the time, even when I'm not recording. I just didn't know it was there at all. Is that right? Yeah, I think that's right. What's his name again? Oh. It did that little thing where it hangs. Makes me think it's going to crash. Game. Don't. Not after all this work. Some other gangster with a tandem on. Okay, we're doing it. Yeah, it's getting those little sputters every now and then, and it always does that right before it crashes. Save game, so we can at least go back to there. Now, I would think the trailer is what, 27 tons? 29 tons. And we're in an 8x4 with 580 brake horsepower. I would think it wouldn't, I don't want to say it's struggling, but it's, I'm feeling the weight up even those little grades. So either those grades are steeper than they look, or 580 brake horsepower isn't what it used to be. Don't know. Okay, we're doing it. We're making tracks. Good on fuel, good on sleep. At least to our destination. And then, yeah, come on. There she goes. Good on fuel, good on sleep, at least to our destination. And then yeah, after we pass through the Baltics, I feel like, we're back into Europe proper. And that's when I guess it'll start feeling warmer. Even though we have frosty off, it still feels pretty early spring in Scandinavia. So we'll get down through the Baltics, and at some point I'll turn off the Grimes mild winter and just let the native weather in the game, the native scenery take over. Okay. So 1400 and the street lights just came on, but we've had our headlights on all day, so we're okay. Now, I've seen, I guess it's about 100% consistent, but I've seen when you have a tandem on, it gives you a pull-through drop-off. It does not expect you to back in a tandem set, a dolly rig. So that's the last thing. I don't want to get ahead of myself. We still have 125 kilometers to go. But that's the other thing, is if I can somehow pull this off with no damage, then when we get where we're going, I've still got to do the delivery and do the actual drop-off. Right, so we're in Norway, and we're going to cross into Finland up here. And because this always burns me, I'm going to slow down early in case there's a stop sign. Say the border is that little river. Beautiful. There's 50. Right. Welcome to Finland. Okay, so far so good. Right, so something like this hill right here. Just immediately feeling it. Oh no. Oh, whew. stay in third and not try to shift it out. This is what happened going into Oslo. The incident. Yeah, that's a bit of a hill. Okay, 90 kilometers. And this is actually the road that I wanted you to see. And I've been so focused on the traffic and not wadding up the trailer that I've completely neglected to point out how cool this road is. You know, as far as drives in the game. And this is all ProMods area. If you're not on ProMods, I cannot recommend it enough. It will totally change the way you play Truck Sim. Right. Don't need to go that fast. Seems like it's getting a little more civilized down here. Road's a little wider. We're going back down the hill that we just climbed. All right. Customer says, where's my stuff? Now, I didn't sleep. I picked up the load and I've just driven straight through. And I've been pretty close to the speed limit the whole time. So that's curious that, and it was an urgent delivery. Can't remember. I think it may have been. But man, they don't really give you much of a window. Yes, I am being very careful. I am being extremely careful. I was not at all confident I would be able to get this delivery in with zero damage. I haven't yet, honestly. I still have just a little ways to go here. But I was really not confident that I would be able to do this. And I am pleased that we made it this far. Also pleased that we made it this far without a game crash. That is, as many times as it crashed on the way up, I am surprised that it's been stable on the way back down. Although, could be that all the tiles, I run a terabyte standard hard drive, platter hard drive, and then I run a 500 gig SSD, 480 gig. It's a big SSD, but it's set up so that it's using a chunk of that as hard drive and 128 gig of it as almost like a RAM booster. So I'm curious if driving up here we had those crashes as it was getting things onto the SSD, and then it could load them quicker. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what causes those crashes. I know you can look at your game log and look at your crash log. I just, you know. Because normally what I see is, when I check my crash log, what I see is a mod that I really like is causing the crash. And at that point it's like, well, I'm not going to not use that. I love it. So, you know, I just need to, like on the way up to Honningsvåg, you get a crash, reload the game, and you go back to where it crashed, and it just goes right through. You know, it's, who knows, but it happened at a certain place one time, you do it again, it doesn't happen. So, okay. But then yesterday in Longyearbyen, it was absolutely not going to give us that delivery. Like every time we got to that same point, at the top of the little hill there at the quarry, every time we got to that point, it crashed. So, at a certain point, you just have to give up. This isn't going to work. So yeah, sometimes you can kind of push through, and other times, no way. We're getting a little stutter right here. That is most definitely a scenery load, but it's also a little warning that it gives right before it crashes. If it crashes here, I will go ahead and say, see you next time, because we've only got just a couple kilometers. Right, Ivalo. Okay. Holy crap. I did not think we would make it down that road. Let me check. Yeah. I didn't think we would make it down that road with no damage, and we did. Super pleased about that. See how this delivery goes. But that is, we've been now, Longyearbyen is that island. That is, I guess, technically the most northern place on the map. Honestly, to me, that's a bit of a gimmick, But we did it. And now this is the northern, or we're coming from the most northern point on the mainland. And I think we still have to go down through Finland into the Baltic states, but we did Scandinavia. We made it to Russia. We did what we said we were going to do. So we need to go over here, and then we need to go over here. We need to go back over here. I know. What's he doing? He's going crazy. It may or may not give this to me. If I don't get this in one swing, I can't really back it up. Oh, are you kidding me? After all the things that have gone wrong this morning. Wow. Okay. There you go. So, we're level 21 now, I believe, and we're on our way to 22. Is that right? Or we are level 22. We are level 22, and we're going to level up to level 23. Fantastic. I'm not going to look at the job market and take a chance on crashing the game. Folks, thank you so much for joining us at the Portable Gamer. Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of ETS2, and we will see you next time. Take care.